Right, I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee, and then we'll start streaming properly. I'll be upbeat. Be there in 1 second. Oh, hello. Oh. Right, what are we doing here? And down this a little bit. A little bit, maybe to this down a little bit. Yeah, do that. Hopefully, not too loud. Not too loud. Tell me if it gets too loud, the music. Where's my glasses? Oh, I don't need them, but I do need them. Glasses. Ugh! And all those good sounds that you make when you're healthy and sitting down. Right. Glass is clean. I can see. Is my head in frame? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Hello! I'm BoredGamer. I've got elastic band around my pop filter, but it's alright, I've bought a new pop filter, which I will put on later today. Hope you are doing well, everyone. Yeah, so if you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, question in brackets, I'll try and get to it at some point. Things I really want to talk about today are sort of going to be more focused on Fleet Week, that Aegis Phoenix, Aegis Saber Phoenix, assumedly, sort of teaser that Cloud Imperium have done, or Firebird. It could be either of those. It could be neither of those names, but we're certainly one of those. And just general sort of Alpha 3.23 delays, and then anything else that people want to talk about. So let us start with hello. Hope you are all doing well. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for all the kind words. I've got a little tiny square of chocolate brownie. I'm gonna very slowly chew and get cuddy sounds. Question: Saber Firebird expected dollar price. Yeah, we'll come to that sort of stuff. Yeah, okay. You got your coffee? Good. Feel free to follow me on Twitch or YouTube. I'm just talking about Star Citizen sort of news, and drama, and game, and patch notes, and all that sort of jazz. Let's pray that 3.23 releases today. Yeah. So I'm just praying that it's going to be good. I've been expecting it to be out for the last over a week now. Like bam. I'm expecting them to release it. It's good that they are trying to fix the the intergraph stuff, and trying to get the desync and stack delay, I think it's called, the action delay stuff sorted, so that you don't have the horrible lag and intermission times when you're trying to do any action, or things don't appear properly, like elevators don't activate because the button hasn't actually been pressed, and things like that. Yeah, there's some pretty important things that they need to fix there. I have a source at CIG. I have two sources at CIG that both told me that they had planned to get 3.23 out originally by the 2nd/3rd of May. That was their sort of plan. Yeah. They said, obviously, that they wanted to hold it back for the to get the patch in a suitable state with the fix. So that's one of the big things, right? Is Alpha 3.23 too late now for Xenothreat to be run? What do I mean by that? Well, They've got Fleet Week on the 17th. That's a hard date for that, because there's lots of stuff tied to that date. So that is a week away. And they basically said once Xenothreat starts running, it's going to be a couple of days before, when 3.23 goes live, there's going to be a couple of days for you to finish off the first 5 phases of the Overdrive Initiative event before they run Xenothreat. So would they run Xenothreat for a few days? Would they run Xenothreat at the same time as Fleet Week? I think it's more likely they'll delay it until after Fleet Week now, in my opinion. So yeah, some people are thinking that they're pushed to get it out before Fleet Week 3.23 now. Oh, I like my F8. I think the F8's my favourite fighter now, because it's nice and it's super tough. I don't have to think about while I'm flying around. At the moment in Star Citizen, I don't want to challenge. I just want to go and do stuff and try stuff out and see what something feels like, rather than try and work out balance. So I go, oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's cool. I'm not related to James. Is he also a potato boy? As the face and the head of a potato. What type of variant would make sense for the new Aegis Firebird? We'll talk about the Firebird / Phoenix in a second. That's a bit weird. While I have 3.23 GTU and 3.22 installed, my body refused to play any version. Yeah, you're just waiting for 3.23 live. Yeah, a lot of people are like that. They're like, oh, install them both. I won't delete either. But I won't play them until 3.23 goes live. Doesn't the game already have a Phoenix? I think it's Phoenix rather than Phoenix. Let's listen. There's the Constellation Phoenix, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is a Firebird then. Yeah, it could be a Firebird. That makes sense. They will have stuff called the same thing, like Quantum and Quantum. And the Avenger Titan and the Titan suits. But yeah, you're right. It does make it more likely that it's a Firebird rather than Phoenix. It's a good point. I forgot about the Constellation Phoenix. Ready for Invictus? Yeah, I mean, is Star Citizen ready for Invictus, though? That's the thing, right? Yeah. Aurora LN Legionnaire and the Anvil Legionnaire. Yep, there's a few. Valkyrie Liberator and the Anvil Liberator. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so they typically don't have main hulls with the same name, right? They have variants and then so they wouldn't have like an Aegis Liberator and an Anvil Liberator. It'd be a variant of ship and then also a main hull. So they've been keeping it to up until now. The Anvil Santoki. 3.23 will be dropped with on the 17th to start the ship sale. No. So they'll want, one of the things they'll want to do is they'll want to release 3.23, in my opinion, at least a week. So almost certainly today. Like, they're going to want to run a 3.23 sale, which will be the Mirai Pulse. That's the sound it makes. obviously you haven't used it if you don't know it makes that sound. And any other ships that are reasonably changed or they can get away with selling before Fleet Week. Because Fleet Week, combat and logistics ships. Well, they'll want to have a mini sale before that with 3.23, almost certainly. But the marketing is not a mystery to me. Now, is it ready to be dropped? Though that's another question. And what is going on behind the scenes? We know that Cloud Imperium are running tests and that sort of stuff with 3.23 on the APT at the moment, trying to fix those intergraph problems, and hopefully it will be in a good enough state to release later today, and then we won't have any terrible problems because of that. I'm still 50-50 on whether it's the Aegis, Saber Phoenix. Oh, that's a good point. Because it would be the Saber Phoenix. And then you got the Constellation Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know. Or could it be just the Aegis Saber Firebird? Do you think we're ever going to Crusader capital ship? Yes. There is the Jupiter. Is that the ship builder or something? I know the Jupiter's supposed to be massive. I vaguely remember the Jupiter being mentioned. Have Chris Roberts or the devs ever talked about CIGs doing internal voice control commands in Star Citizen? Obviously, yeah, we got third-party stuff. I think they've briefly mentioned it, but said they've voice attack and other things work. It's probably something they haven't crossed out, ruled out, Simon. So I'll see if they've actually said anything official about it more recently, but I'm pretty sure they haven't talked about that sort of stuff for a while. It's possibly they have it natively supported eventually. Why can't they run Fleet Week and Xenothreat at the same time? Technically, they could, but both events put a lot of stress on the server, with a lot more stuff going on, and also get a lot more people to play. So when you've got a new patch and Xenothreat and your expo all running at the same time, when the servers aren't in the best shape, well, that's a recipe for disaster. Now, it's possible they've got some magic, they have a magic patch that we can run it both at the same time. I think that's very ill-advised. But you're right, they technically can. And actually can if they want, I just think it would be a bad idea. What type of variant would make sense for the new Aegis Firebird / Phoenix? So, good question. I'm thinking the ship's going to be around $170 to $200. That sort of area. I think it's going to be a light stealth fighter, and I think it's going to specialize in probably going to be quite Saber Raven-y, right? But maybe just go maybe down more of the combat route. The Saber Raven's more sort of a data interceptor and EMPer, so it's sort of like gets in, gets some data, or stealthing around, and then can EMP its way out if it gets detected or whatever. Do you think Apollo will be launching on RSI Day, as there seems sort of medical Ursa? It's possible. So I think the Apollo's still a way out and likely to be done later this year. They might talk about it or show some of it off. Do you know if they will reset ships? So they said, so the only thing they've confirmed for 3.23 is that Alpha UEC will be reset, and rentals. Alpha UEC and rentals is what they said. So they've not confirmed if ship sport with Alpha UEC will also be reset, but it's possible that they will. Yeah. Sounds like reputation's kept as well. Hello, hello. And for us, oh my god, we're getting old. Yeah, I agree. Inforunners, great. Star Citizen, Star Citizen? I'm having a stroke. Star Citizen info channel and podcast. Do you know if they talked about a capital version of salvaging ship, the Reclaimer, is more of a semi-cap? It's kind of it's like a salvage corvette. You might be able to get, and almost certainly will be able to get, modules for capital ships so they can do salvaging operations and stuff like that, right? I'm high on hopium. Let's have a look. Let's have a read of this. I'm high on hopium for an Apollo drop at Fleet Week. How likely do you think that's going to happen? I think it's not ready yet. I don't think it's ready yet. Keep Apollo now. Do you think later this year though? Yeah, sort of Firebird / Phoenix, Aegis Saber Phoenix / Firebird, whatever it's called. At price, I'm thinking between sort of $170 to $200. And yeah, and I think sort of a light stealth fighter, actual fighter, because the sort of Saber is kind of a medium fighter, stealth-ish, but is sort of a combat superiority sort of fighter, right? I will hope and pray for the Apollo at Invictus for Fleet Week, and I hope it is that. And there's a non-zero chance that it'll be there, but I do think that it needs a bit more time. Any news on 890 jump paint? Nothing I've had. Free fly is stress test. It would be the best time to run Xenothreat, would it not? Yeah, totally agree. When the servers are in a better shape. I want them to. They want to get more data, and they'll be able to get a lot more data when it's on the live servers because the new patch has dropped. They don't want to then also run Fleet Week and Xenothreat. I mean, they could. That would have maximum concurrency. If they want to do a maximum concurrency test, yeah, great. The thing is that free flights aren't for maximum concurrency. They are for onboarding. Yeah? They are an onboarding process, at least in my opinion. And they're marketing. They're trying to get more people to play Star Citizen and more people to buy in at that typically lower level. But and obviously it's a big marketing and sales event as well. It's onboarding over concurrency at that time. Any word on the 600i rework? Again, expect it later this year, but no new words on it. Nothing in the monthly report, I don't believe. Will weather physics change how water will behave? Storms bring chop kind of thing. So visually, yes, I believe that's all part of the simulation stuff. Yeah, so the way it looks. But I don't think it will actually change the actual nature of the water, the game effect of the water. Will the Zeus Mark II make it into Fleet Week? So the Zeus Mark II is almost done, as far as I'm aware. But again, I think it's later this year rather than at Fleet Week. So stuff that you're going to see at Fleet Week is that new Aegis Saber Phoenix / Firebird. You're going to see a new cargo tractor beam variant of the MPUV. That another Argo cargo-esque ship. The little ones. You're also going to see a medical Ursa. You're going to see the Polaris in sort of terms of it being part of the military flyby. I don't think it's got an interior yet. It's just going to be NPCs flying it around, but you will be able to see it. There's a Idris tour, obviously free fly, and there might be something else as well beyond that, like another ship or a vehicle. Yeah, so when 3.23 goes live, the largest ship you have will define what hangar you get. Is it going to be in 3.23? No, it's going to be in 3.23.x. So in the point patch where they release the persistent hangars, your largest ship that you have will define what hangar size that you have for your home / persistent hangar. Do you think we'll hear anything about the Gattac Raelian during Fleet Week? No, but you might hear about it during Alien Week in June. What server tick rate should we expect in 3.23? I'm not getting more than 5. So people have had 30 sustained or near sustained in the 3.23 build at some points and had fantastic times. Now, what are we expecting? I'm expecting sort of 10, but I'm hoping for more. The time of day that I play normally, I have pretty high tick rates for Star Citizen. You'll get a big hangar if my big ship is not a pledge ship. So it's the biggest flyable ship that you currently own that is in-game at that time that you actually have available on your ASOP terminal. That's a better way of saying it. Have available on your ASOP terminal. Rentals will be wiped, so it doesn't matter. Any idea how much, if any, damage happens to your ship when you fly through a flock of birds? Oh, good question. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't think they do any damage to the ship, but I believe the birds get damaged. But I'm not 100% sure. I've not tried to ram the Marok. So 3.23, not Pyro. Next major patch 4.0 is Pyro. And the next major milestone after that appears to be 1.0, a full commercial release. That's what KMPM sound like they're throwing down. What types of new ship are you expecting to be released next? That's a good question. So it's basically those, other than the ones we've seen recently. So the only new one is the Aegis Saber Raven variant, the Phoenix or the Firebird or whatever. The rest of the ones who I'm expecting are the 10 that they showed on at CitizenCon. So you've got the Morrow Pulse, you've got that Medical Ursa, you've got that little Tractor Beam Argo MPUV, and then you've got things like the Zeus Mark II, potentially the Apollo. Did they show the Apollo? Was Apollo OS 10? Do you think the Apollo is going to be there? The Polaris, things like that. A Fat Fury. So probably actually Alien Week. That's the sort of thing they'll talk about, the Fat Fury. Could 3.23 be delayed long enough to get hangars added back into the 0.0 patch? No. They're trying to fix a very specific thing. They're not then going to introduce more stuff into it. Hi, relatively new to the game. Will the local inventories disappear since everything is becoming physical soon? So, your personal inventory will remain, and then everything else will be physicalized or from a kiosk. So, you'll go up to item banks, which will appear around landing zones, and you can interact with them to basically put in or take away a small items, FPS-sized items, right? And then you can do your cargo and that sort of stuff at your hangar, into a cargo elevator, out of a cargo elevator, into your ship. Yes, everything's becoming more physicalized. So, but you still have a personal inventory, and you're still able to loot bodies. Hail, Sandworm! A game for the Sandworm thumbnail. Well, they're working on creatures, so the Sandworm is the only one they haven't really mentioned, as they're sort of actively working on recently. Although I did talk to CIG about it a little while ago at a bar citizen, and they said we're working on a lot of creatures. So we know they're actively developing the Space Cow and the Starwow at the moment, I believe. And then there's loads of others as well that they're working on in general. So that's the sort of Microtech Yeti, otherwise known as the Boreal Stalker. That's the Pyro Crab. That's the Cypherpods. I think they're otherwise known as Oni Crabs. Things like that. Any idea if we can stun or knock out a Copian and then transport it? So, not any. So you can't get them stuck or do silly things with them anymore. You might be able to land a ship on them and glitch them into your ship. In the future, you may be able to stun them, knock them out, and then transport them as part of missions or to sell them, but not at the moment. So pets and lots of animal-esque quests and crafting and stuff, they're all going to be there eventually, but we don't have much data on exactly what form some of this stuff's going to take. I've seen June 1 and 2. Yes, the latest ones. The Spice Melange. Thank you very much. Isno, I appreciate you becoming a member with the join button. So I'm going to encourage more and more people to do. That join button is incredibly helpful for the channel and allows us to make daily content. Genuinely, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Isno, my friend. With ship modularity finally being developed, how long till we think highly modular ships like the Endeavour are going to be here? Good question. I don't think modularity being added to the game with the Aegis Retaliator is the Retaliator, not the Redeem. I get them confused. The names. I don't think that's an indicator that modularity in modular ships that have yet to be released are going to come into the game. So I think they're going to update things like the Caterpillar and that sort of stuff to have more modularity. Obviously, the Retaliator itself is only going to have a couple of rooms to start with, the torpedo and the cargo bay, I believe, and no room as sort of options to modularity move in and out. But then it needs to add the others like the living area and the drop pod module. Well, thank you very much for the gifted subs as well. There's no genuinely appreciated, sir. Oh, I like money. I like money. I don't know. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. I'm in the middle of I say I'm in the middle, kind of moving house. I'm waiting for completion. I'm waiting for the date for them to tell me what's going on with that. So that'll be soon. Really looking forward to having a new place. It's been expensive and sort of working everything out. I'm looking forward to having a new place that's going to be set up for content creation and board games and lots of other stuff. Genuinely, thank you. It really helps. Will there be a Retaliator Gold with modularity at Fleet Week? It is possible that will be ready for then. That is not confirmed, though. It might be a while longer. There's no indication of exactly when it's going to be done, other than at some point during the 3.23 cycle, some point within the next 3 months. I totally agree with you that the Caterpillar needs its modularity. It's one of the reasons. So the Retaliator is one of the reasons I got so into Star Citizen, and the modularity of that was like, argh. And then the Caterpillar as well. Oh, Jerry Nova, thank you very much. I like the fact when people listen and they go, yes, BoredGamer's right. I should click on that join button. I should become a BoredGamer member. I'm gonna get some exclusive content out tomorrow. Zin's away at the moment, so that might be hard to do. But I'm gonna do something. I'll be a poll. It'll be pictures of a house or a cat or something. The plan is that channel members and Patreons will help guide some of the additional content that we do on the channel hopefully every week. Genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much. UK home prices are skyrocketing in 5 to 10 years. It'll be worth twice as much. Yeah, quite possibly. The house prices sort of stagnated and went slightly down, so I went, I'm buying now. Otherwise, I'll never be able to buy a house. Yes, take my money. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. A video of a cat. So, I want to document my cat slightly more. She injured herself recently, my cat. Well, something happened. I don't know if she had a stroke or... I heard her fall off my bed. And then I looked at her, and she couldn't walk, and she just kept on falling over anytime she tried to stand up. And I was like, she's on her last legs. But over the last 3 days, she's started to walk again, and she's sort of jumping up and stuff. But she can't manage anymore. She's over 20 now, I've realised. I thought she was about 18, but we looked at when we got her, and she's over 20. She is ancient as a cat. She seems to be doing pretty well. Do you think that when the Caterpillar becomes modular, the price will go up? Yes. Not necessarily, actually. Will they make it into a Caterpillar base? They might discontinue the Caterpillar cargo and sell it as a Caterpillar base and then the modules separately. That's a possibility, right? It's possible that it might go up in price as well when they go, well, actually, and you can buy the modules separately, or you can buy the base rate, or you can buy the cargo one already done, and the cargo one's now worth more. So, yeah, it's possible. Is Overdrive being extended into Invictus Week, or is it being moved till after it? Good question. I'm expecting them to try and keep Fleet Week clear of most other stuff going on. With master modes making interdiction ships the king of all dogfighting, do you think it's going to incentivize more people doing distribution center missions and other forms of gameplay? I mean, there's definitely an incentive to do distribution centers because they're fun, and there's some cool gameplay there. I don't think meta or that sort of stuff necessarily affects what people do in game as much as it should at the moment, because there's a lot of people testing and seeing pretty stuff, and typically the servers aren't that packed full of people, right? 100 people on a server, big place. Is it true that every time you say a feature is coming out, it gets delayed? Oh, Rojo Zula, it's too real. Oh, it's too real. I've been terrible recently. So with the cargo stuff, that was one of the most important pieces of 3.23 for me. And they basically went, nope, get wrecked, son. That's coming. It's coming in 3.23 cycle at some point, all the cargo stuff and the persistent hanger stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that's annoying, but there's still a huge amount there. And I was like, well, 3.23 will be out soon anyway. It's been it's been a while since I expected it to be out. There are reasons that it's not out. They need to address the sort of delay, lag, net graph issues, entity graph issues. So hopefully that'll be done soon. Hopefully that's going to be done for today. I think the last build looked like a release candidate, although I didn't test it out too much. There'll be some people going, no, it's broken. Other people going, no, it's perfect, set it out. CIG stance is get it out to test in more hands when it is in a state where it is not 3.18 broken. Will the Hornet F7A be released before Fleet Week? So the F7A, I believe, you get when the upgrade you get when 3.23 goes live. So technically should be available to fly in game when 3.23 goes live. So bear that in mind. Will the F7A be on sale during Fleet Week? That's also a possibility. We're talking about the Mark II. We could talk about the Mark I as well, maybe. Do you think we'll get some status updates about the Genesis now that Squadron 42 is wrapping up? I don't think we're going to hear much about the Genesis until maybe CitizenCon or something like that. I think it's a while out. What else have we got? I do appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much. Yeah, so the gold standard stuff just means the current gold standard, but that is pretty refined now because that's sort of ready for the engineering and sort of ship network system, physicalized component stuff. Do you have any insider information if they will expand the ship options for salvaging? So there's going to be salvaging modules for some ships. There's likely going to be some more salvaging ships, and salvaging will be part of crafting, kind of. So it's all important part. Will you ever be able to wrangle Zin into one of the live streams? Yes. I mean, she used to do them very early on when she started. I sort of typically have her working while I'm streaming. She's off at the moment. She's off today. She's in family or something. Are Javelins going to randomly spawn also in the Precision Universe 3.23, or is that only a thing for EPT or Invictus? So the Javelin should be flying around during Invictus as part of sort of Fleet Week. Potentially Javelin tours as well. They're doing Idris tours this time, but they might also have the Javelin tour. In the future, you will see the Javelin used as a mission ship that will spawn in the verse as part of missions. You think with the last two ships that were announced being the F7A, or the F7 Mark II, and the Raven both being variants. So F7 Mark IIs are effectively a new hull, but I guess I see what you mean. They're very similar to the Mark I's. And the Raven variant, I mean, there's loads of other ships as well. I mean, I want them to make a game, and I do like ships as well as part of that. I do want a big variety, so I don't think that's laziness, personally. What is the confidence driver for patch release? Why do we think it's about to go live? Just because the last patch has just been focusing on a single issue, which they are relatively confident they've got it into a better shape. So they are just tweaking that, and then they're going to go live as soon as they're happy with that build. How do you think Star Citizen will manage to keep players motivated to play the game in the long run? Are you concerned that once players can buy most things, they'll get bored? So there'll be a load of stuff that is effectively you have to earn by getting reputation up to both to actually buy or to get into these areas to buy them. There's going to be loads of stuff like that. So there'll be effectively money as one of the things, reputation as one of the things, exploration as one of the things to get these sort of interesting items, time played. Ton of stuff they can do, right? You have all of those as different pathways to earning lots of different things, and then just incredibly difficult missions. Then great, you got a recipe for success, in my opinion, for people wanting to play a lot. So, yes, some people think that 3.23 won't go live until next week, and it's possible. I'm hoping it's today or tomorrow, but I'm hoping it's today. But I'm also hoping that the patch is in a good enough state to go live today. I don't want them to release it and it be like, mega broken. Yeah, so I think the drop pod module for the Retaliator was supposed to have that Titan suit charging station. I think it would be possible to see the Titan suit during Invictus. But they might start talking about them. I haven't had anything new about the... Oh, a little while ago they were doing some of the rigging for it. It's possible they got some surprise bits and bobs, right? CIG are much better now at sowing lots of different seeds of leaks in places, so that any actual leaks are muddied. So it's hard to tell if a leak is legit or not. So and a lot of less leaks actually getting out of CIG now. They seem to have locked a lot of that stuff down, and most of the stuff you'll see from Star Citizen leaks will be or online will be data mines now for the most part. Or have they not pushed for a 3.23 patch for after Invictus? Because a lot of that Invictus stuff is in the 3.23 patch. So the deployment of it has all the Invictus stuff in it. Potentially they could separate if they had to, but that might be another big thing anyway. I'm feeling that Zin might not enjoy the camera. Okay, so Zin's pretty shy and private and not antisocial, but she's not sort of... she's not a social butterfly. I love going out and meeting people and drinking and being just saying hello to everyone. She really enjoyed the Bar Citizen event, but she wouldn't want to go round and go like out and clubbing and that sort of stuff. She's and go around and like super socialize with people, which it'd be awkward for her. But she seems to love the Star Citizen community. She's really enjoyed the Bar Citizen. I think sort of stuff like the camera is a bit shy for her. We've got to worry about what we say as well. Obviously, we've been friends for years, and we might say spicier things to each other that we might like go, oh, probably shouldn't have said that on live. It's obviously clearly a joke when we said it privately, but might not be a joke if someone takes it too offensively. When do you think we'll get a skateboards / parachutes in game? Two very different things. Skateboards, I think they're almost ready. They're setting ships up for them. I think it might be even part of modularity, kind of, in the engineering gameplay. Lots of ships have got escape poddy type things. The ability to eject in atmosphere and survive, which may be parachutes, is going to be coming at some point, but we don't have an indicator of when. What do you expect the state of stealth ships in 3.23 will be? Rudimentary, but still have a little bit of an effect, right? So, obviously, scanning and targeting and missions are a thing. Gib Kraken, they might talk about it a little bit during Drake Defense Con at the end of Fleet Week. It's possible that Drake have got something new. I'll try and get Zin in for what we'll try and do. We'll try and do something live, podcasty slash live streamy rise, once a month. We'll try and do something like that, even if it's just for channel members and Patreons. Yeah, so totally agree with you, Bad Monkey. Money sinks will help the longevity of the game. Once base and empire building kicks in, there will be almost endless content. So yeah, totally agree with you. There needs to be a value of money. There needs to be sort of expensive things to get. There needs to be hard things to find. There needs to be marketplaces. There needs to be insurance and proper fuel costs, ammunition costs, and lots of ways to spend and lose your money. So, CIG's marketing model isn't necessarily money grabbing. Okay, it is built to get a FOMO and artificial scarcity response, which people could definitely say is potentially predatory or is that style of marketing. It's not grabby of money. It's tailored to get a lot of money still though, because they don't sort of wrangle every last penny out of you that they can. They sort of cater to all the markets. So they go, we've got these people that so we have the artificial scarcity, the FOMO of ships. We'll cater for the whales. We'll cater for the entry level players. We'll cater for the players that want to just keep on buying little purchases. They have the marketing. They have a finger in every single pie. And you might see that as money grabbing. I might have just described exactly what you think money grabbing is, but I think that they certainly could nickel and dime you for a huge amount of stuff, and they don't. But yeah, Star Citizen's monetization model, it's absolute madness that it works so well, because it does. It generates them more and more money year on year, and the community largely is pretty happy with it. Go, no, they're not. They are. I mean, more and more money each year, more and more Star Citizens each year, more and more hype about the game each year. So it's an interesting one. I love the project What's and all. There's certainly loads of criticisms and stuff that you can make about it. And yeah, I think there's this fight between the community, devs, and marketing, all sort of pulling in different directions, which is an interesting one as well. Because marketing's job is to make money effectively and to potentially increase market share or the amount of players that there are. Sometimes making money and getting more players in, they're a little bit at war with each other as well. But hopefully Fleet Week this year goes well and the patch is in a good state. It doesn't mean that the servers implode and people can't log in properly. It'd be nice to have a really playable Star Citizen for this year's Fleet Week. The mistake is a lot of people make is they get into Star Citizen during this test phase, expecting it to be a polished game experience. But that's because they see CIG's trailers on the game that make it look like it is the most awesome game ever, and it doesn't say this is not actual gameplay on it. And all the gameplay they show is, a lot of it is 99%. You could do that in game, but it might not necessarily experience in the way that you expect it to experience that in the game. You can record it like that, like machinima, or in a very specific circumstance, but it's doesn't necessarily present in proper gameplay terms as awesome as it looks. So sort of bear that in mind. But you're right. If people read and understood Star Citizen fully, they'd be like, yeah, cool. It's an awesome alpha, and wow, these new patches and these new things are amazing, and I'm really looking forward to what's next. And they're actually getting to a position now where the game looks like it's moving to 4.0 and then an actual 1.0 commercial release in the not too distant future. And I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be amazing. But there's obviously that interesting CIG sort of running this faux live service and doing this alpha development at the same sort of time. And yeah, I just think it's interesting. I'm not not angry about that or anything. Just saying it's a thing that I'm aware of. That I think if everyone was aware of it in the same sort of in that sort of level, that'd be good, right? Because then people would be able to go, oh, Star Citizen, it's great, cool. I'll jump in and see. I suppose jump in and see during Fleet Week, right? It's free. Yeah, certainly not people's fault. But it's not people's fault. I tell you what it is. CIG have never set expectations ever. There's no expectation. So the expectation is it's this high as the sky, high as the space goes off forever, and they've never set an expectation ceiling. They've just gone, yeah, the game is amazing. I suppose it's because they haven't finished making that ceiling yet. They want it to be as best it can be, and they're excited about it. Obviously, sometimes they sort of do put expectations back with, well, this is what's going to be happening with this patch eventually, for sure. But as I said, I love Star Citizen. It's a really interesting project. I think it's fantastic community, best gaming community I've ever been part of. That said, Helldivers 2, especially now that they've sorted out a lot of the issues they had with the PlayStation Network stuff. The Helldivers 2 community, the people there, fantastic. First time I landed in Helldivers 2, I got a hug from someone. Came up, hugged me and my mate. It's like, oh. And then everyone I played with, they're just so nice. And they're kind. And they come around with you. Some people were explaining the game to me because they saw I was a new player. I was like, oh, this is lovely. Actually, take the lid off this water. What would you consider 1.0? I've got a video on it. Go check out my video. So it's a minimum viable product, which will have all of the sort of features that we've got currently in, a little bit more developed, and the engineering and all that sort of stuff. Dynamic economy, server meshing, several systems, and you don't need a huge amount more beyond that, other than everything in the game working as it's sort of supposed to. And a bit more content. You don't need that much more in the way of all of the features of the game covered, but or at least content expanded out fully. But you do want base building, you do want a data cargo, and you don't need to have this super developed science system or super developed exploration system beyond the basics for a 1.0. Yeah, I mean, what alien races do you need for a 1.0? I mean, like, I would expect the Banu and the Vandal, hopefully the Xi'an as well. What do you see yourself doing most in Star Citizen once you have everything? Showing at CitizenCon, base building. Love base building. They said 4.0 for summer was the plan. With engineering, do you think ships like the Crucible will get some love? Well, all ships will get love, right? What happened to your awesome NordVPN commercials? Why no funny? So, I wanted to test the metrics of just doing a shout out at the end of a video with sponsors and Nord and stuff like that. Also, this month has been quite heavy with, well, there's going to be some stuff with Toby Eye Tracker and 3.23. There's going to be, we did some stuff with Lunar Wolves. There's going to be potentially some other stuff with, I'm going to do some eye tracking-y stuff with a Beam potentially as well, looking at cheaper alternatives. Might not be as precise or as good as native supported Toby stuff, but there are a different option. So there was lots of stuff going on this month, and I just wanted to see some metrics on it. Don't you worry. Well, I mean, I've got a silly song I made about NordVPN, so don't you worry. Do you have any info on server meshing? Only that server meshing tests were going pretty well, and they're wanting to get more data on the replication layer stuff that's coming with 3.23 when it goes live. Predictions for banning Merchantman and CitizenCon next year. Intergalactic Aerospace Expo next year. That's my sort of expectation. Minimum amount of systems in 1.0 in your opinion? Half a dozen? I mean, minimum 5 probably. If you're talking bare minimum, I'd hope a dozen. The Jurassic Park theme music was exquisite. Zin literally like face palmed through the table. I was like, what if that gets detected by like copyright content on YouTube? And they're like, they won't want it. They won't want to associate you with singing that song. It doesn't sound like anything like it anyway. And it's like, perfect. Yeah, you know exactly what to say to make me happy, Zin. I'm doing all right. Thank you very much, Raziel. Coming to the end-ish of the stream now, but it's sort of, I'll go through. See what if anyone's asking anything. 3.23 may come this weekend still, I believe, unless CIG have said something. Like, they're going to want to push it out as soon as possible. They were aiming to have it out last week, according to a couple of people I know at CIG. Has there been any... They've been fixing entity graph stuff, pushing builds out for that. We're in release candidate territory. It's just when they feel that the patch is playable enough. So that could be this weekend. It could be early next week. It's got to be before. It's got to be before the 17th, right? Before Fleet Week, because it contains Fleet Week 3.23. Can you hum Superman the Star Wars theme? Yeah, I can. We can do. Don't you worry. We'll get that stuff done. Don't you worry. I know the Nord ads for you. Surely they won't release on Saturday. I mean, they might have to. I think there's been precedent where they might have released on a weekend before. I'm die before this game gets beta and I'm 21. Hopefully not, as I'm 40 next year and I'd like to have Star Citizen in my hands before I'm 50. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Any chance we'll get a new consolidated Outland ship? At some point, yeah. Probably not. Probably not for Fleet Week. You recommend keep playing until the patch or wait? So, I recommend that you jump in and spend all of your Alpha UEC on ships in case ships do get carried over. And they said Alpha UEC wouldn't and rentals wouldn't, but they didn't 100% confirm that ships bought with Alpha UEC wouldn't. So, the Galaxy will be able to base build with a module. The Pioneer, the Consolidated Outlands Pioneer, will be able to base build. I think it's the biggest base building ship they've got planned. You'll be able to do it by hand with some form of tools or item. And then there'll be a building vehicle and a smaller building ship, I believe. When's your first office tour post-house move? I'm assuming... Well, I'm hoping to try and get one around CitizenCon time. But I'm assuming that after CitizenCon anyway, even if I haven't had one by then, they'll open up the office for sort of tours more generally. Do you need an organist? For any of your videos? I'll ask Zin. She does the editings and music stuff for the most part. Thank you, I appreciate that offer. Would it be counterproductive to wipe ships, seeing the testing master modes? Potentially. They're also, the reason they're wiping Alpha UEC is they're testing how people buy, purchase, and do stuff like that. I don't know. That's an interesting one. That's sort of, again, a bit of cognitive dissonance and exactly what they want to wipe and what they don't. What's your plan for rebuilding a wealth after wipe? I don't care about having wealth in Star Citizen at all. I've got a reasonable amount of ships. I want to either play specific missions or see certain things. There's nothing I will, at the moment, want to work up to buy, unless I'm doing a specific video on that, which I haven't for ages. So I'm not incentivized really to play Star Citizen to progress yet, just because progression is getting wiped all the time, and it's not really representative of the gameplay I want to play yet. I need that progression. I need more gameplay features. I need that dynamic economy, really. That's what excites me. I absolutely love the Carrack. Carrack is one of my favourite ships. It's in the top 3, although it's sort of top tier expedition exploration, and sort of, if you want to stay out longer, potentially the Odyssey. But I like the Carrack for sort of mixture of pathfinding and surveying and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a bit better. Do you think they'll ever introduce a used ship market? Yeah, I think that's kind of what Dumper's Depot kind of supposed to be as well. But expect to have a market where players can sell stuff. The Carrack looks to be getting modules. I think it's the 3 cargo pods underneath are potentially modular. The entity graph fixes from last night have been holding steady and appear to have resolved the issues. We're not intending on releasing a new 3.23 EP to update today from Wacker just now. That could mean that you've got a release for 3.23 planned for today, though, the actual live release. But, okay, we'll see what happens, I suppose. Plastic Death, oh wow, you're a beautiful boy. And thank you very much for your big donation the other week as well. That's genuinely appreciated. Helped take the massive sting out of buying a ridiculous amount of CitizenCon stuff. So I bought 3 tickets for CitizenCon, for one for me, one for Zin, and one for her partner, and then hotels and stuff as well. It's sort of like quite an expansive thing. But really looking forward to CitizenCon. Oh, it's gonna be good. Oh, Plastic Death, you're a beautiful boy. I clocked off early and caught your live stream. Great start to the weekend. Genuinely appreciated, sir. We are finishing relatively soon. We talked about the sort of Phoenix or the Firebird, that new Aegis Saber variant, or Saber Raven variant. So, not 100% sure exactly what kind of ship it is. I think it's some sort of stealth combat ship. Obviously, the Raven is, I think, got EMPs, but also it's supposed to have sort of better data capabilities, like better data storage and interception as well. Sort of like this stealthy infiltration ship. So do you think they'll also go for a stealthy combat ship? And I know the Saber itself is a bit stealthy, but it is more combat superiority than stealth. I'm having my buddies, Anarchy HD and Aaron Rustev, say hi to you at CitizenCon. Be prepared. I will. I will be prepared. Sign anything you need me to sign as well, buddy. As long as it's not like, you know, deeds or anything. I appreciate people posting the Wikipedia update. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, expect to be able to sell stuff in-game in the not-too-distant future. Probably early next year? That's the sort of thing I'm expecting. Could do it for 4.0. I think early next year. They'll probably have a updated economy patch, and you'll be able to sell your ships and items and stuff in-game. Obviously, it will reset still. Yes, you can watch CitizenCon on the Saturday and Sunday entirely for free, live, online. And then also as videos on demand. I think the new creatures are on Hurston and Microtech. Yeah. Yeah. I believe. I think so. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they are. How do you think the game loop would play out in ship stores? Think it will be passive income? I cannot picture it working. So are you talking about shops on board a privateer or a banner merchantman? I think players and NPCs will be able to walk up and actually buy the stuff, and you get that money credited to your accounts. You'll have to deal with the stock and that. Maybe there's ways of automating that to a degree. You're supposed to be able to like basically get an NPC or have a kiosk run that for you. GFA, thank you very much for using that join button and becoming a board gamer. That's genuinely appreciated, sir. Thank you, thank you. Encouraging more and more people to do that. Plastic Death, you are just a beautiful man. I just want you to know that. You are top tier. You've given so much to the stream. Genuinely appreciated. Yeah. Really, really does help. Always the catch-22 of being a streamer that you go, I don't... Oh, so this on screen is the 10 ships they showed off. That's the Fat Fury. Sort of, I believe it's some form of fighter. The Legionnaire and stuff, people think that the Legionnaire might be ready as well. It's getting close to being ready. And the Zeus Mark II was getting close to being ready. It's all stuff. All this stuff's sort of coming later this year. The Polaris. Everyone's happy about the Polaris. So in the future, I suspect you can have multiple ships going around, and your ship can be flying around while people are on it, potentially. You don't have to necessarily kick them off, right? You can have a flying shop experience. I think it might be that... I suppose we don't know exactly how the mechanics going to work yet. You might be right. There's lots of unanswered questions, right? I'll be at CitizenCon. Hope to meet you there. Yes, 100%. I'll be trying to organise some meeting up stuff beforehand for sure. But yeah, it'll be great. We'll have a drink or at least a chat. When will we be able to sell stolen ships or vehicles? So you'll be able to sell them at like places like Grimhex, and they won't be worth as much money because you'll be selling them to basically a fence who's going to go, well, they're illegal and not worth as much. You can see it working the privateer, but not so much with the bandit merchantman. I see what you mean. I think the idea is sort of that it can bring people to it, right? It's going to have like a little landing bay on it, or it can land at stations and that sort of stuff, and have people come on board. Yeah, it is a more complicated one for sure. I've been streaming a little bit longer than I normally would because Plastic Death chucked a load of money at me, which is genuinely appreciated. Thank you very much, sir. If I hired only Banu to work on my spaceship, would that make me a spacist? Oh, God. I don't know when the Apollo will come out. I'm expecting it later this year. A lot of people are hoping that it's going to be released as part of a Fleet Week or something. I don't think so. Obviously, we saw the medical Urza. There is a bit of a push for medical gameplay to be a bit more developed. A lot of people are super excited about the Apollo, but I think there would have been more about it if it was going to be ready soon. Hoping it'll still be in later this year, though. Oh, the new creatures. We talked about that. I think we're pretty done. Bear with 1 second. I'm just gonna find. Well, I'm just gonna go bio, then find someone that's streaming, and then wrap up, and then we'll call it. But bear with me 1 second. We're at. We're asked a couple more questions. Hello. Right. Oh. Was Vader really Luke's father? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not real. Can we raid DG360 this time? I know he's just stunning, but there are Star Citizen clips, reactions. Good boy. If he is under the Star Citizen listing, I'm happy to do that sketch therapy. Let's actually have a look. Is he? Is he doing a Star? He's under just chatting. You know what? I'll allow it. You're lucky. You're lucky that I love you. Thank you so much for watching today. Like, genuinely appreciated. So yeah, I'm thinking the new Saber Raven variant, Saber Saber Phoenix or Saber Firebird. Essentially $170 to $200 stealth fighter. That's my expectation. 3.23. Hoping it's going to be released later today or the weekend, but we'll see. And Fleet Week on the 17th, we'll be covering it every day. Well, every day it changes. Every other day it changes. Super excited for it. It's going to be good. Lots of new ships. Lots of cool stuff to do. Idris tours. Polaris flying around. Oh! I'm excited. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the donations and the bits and the joins. The joins under my video. Click. Join. The NordVPNs. I don't whatever else I'm advertising. Thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. And I'll see you on the bus. Peace.